Yippee-ki-yay, Wait, I can't say that on SUSHIBITES. If I said the name Makoto Uchida, what would that mean to you? Altered Beast, Golden Axe, Alien Storm, Revenge of Death Adder, and Manx TT Superbike, amongst others. Uchida is the man who made those games possible in the first place. One of his even lesser known exploits is Dynamite Deka, a 3D take on Streets of Rage. The game draws heavy inspiration from the action movie flick Die Hard, and it tells the story of how two SWAT detectives, Bruno Dellinger and Cindy Holiday, infiltrate a skyscraper in order to defuse a terrorist plot. Also, for some reason, they also have to rescue the president's daughter, because getting kidnapped is what the president's daughter is good at. Right, Ashley?
How rude!
I quite often see the opinion that the similarity between Die Hard and Dynamite Deka is unintentional. I think that is debunked instantly when you look at the Japanese gamebox. That is quite clearly John McClane, as played famously by Bruce Willis. With the blatant character similarity, you might be saying that this game sounds awfully similar to Die Hard Arcade. And you'd be right. When Deka was released outside of Japan, it took the name Die Hard Arcade, and used the movie license. It also straight up swapped series frontman Bruno Dellinger for John McClane. Unfortunately, they didn't swap out Wolf Hongo for Hans Gruber, but we can't always have it our way, otherwise we'd be playing Sneak King. The version you are seeing is the PlayStation 2 edition, released exclusively in Japan as part of the Sega Ages 2500 collection, thus called because each game was only 2500 yen. It retains pretty much everything from the Saturn version, like the rock hard difficulty level, but boasts much better graphics. The game flows as follows. You take on a room of enemies, and once everybody is defeated, you move on. The enemies can sometimes be good for a laugh or two. In the toilet scene, you'll have to fight a muscled man dressed in nothing but a towel, which is amusing. Unlike games such as Golden Axe where the screen scrolls, each fight has its own confined space. This is probably due to the immense task that scrolling 3D areas would have been back in the day. But it also gives the game a much more intense brawler feel, because each battle has its own place, with its own gimmicks and design. While traversing the skyscraper with the hopes of foiling the terrorist plot to rob millions of dollars, you're also going to find yourself in situations where the good old-fashioned Yu Suzuki style quick-time events will happen. These come up in Japanese, so you have to learn the kanji. They randomize every now and then, so you can't just remember what each button does. I often get these wrong, but I've basically memorized the first character of each word, and now I have them down pretty good. Up until today, I'd never seen the end of the game. I thought there was no way to increase the credits on the PlayStation 2 version. In my head, I was convinced that if you wanted to see the end of the game, you had to get good at it. I honestly thought you have to beat the game in less than 4 credits, but I have seen the ending, and there is a way to increase your credits. More on that in a moment. The easy mode included in the game has very large nods to Golden Axe. You can even play as Axe Battler and Tyrus Flare from Golden Axe, and one of the minor bosses is replaced with Death Adder himself. I love this bit. The Saturn mode is playable, complete with the chunky old graphics. It's not my cup of tea, but the fact it's there is nice. Still bloody hard. Bloody die hard, am I right? One hit kill mode is, as the name suggests, you won't last long, trust me. Deadline mode has you under a strict time limit for every scene, this one is tough too. Arrest mode, don't know how to arrest enemies, so I've never progressed past screen 1. Then there is the Altered Beast mode, where you're trapped in beast form and have to get life power in order to stay alive. 1 credit only, like all 4 of these modes. You have to get good. And it isn't in my capacity as a player to practice this game long enough to get good. Each of these modes have their own secret unlockables and nods to other Sega games. Being able to play as Sagata Sanshiro, the guy from the Japanese Sega Saturn commercials, is a load of decent, joyous fun. I personally would have made your character selectable from the start, but who's judging? Oh wait, that's my job. Why can't I be Sagata Sanshiro in a mode where I can get a little further than just the first level? The same goes for the Elvis and Marilyn Monroe skins. It would have been cool if I could play easy mode with those. At least there's something sweet to top it off. Sega's 1968 arcade game Periscope. You heard me right, 1968. The machine is included and recreated faithfully. Want to take a walk all the way back into Sega's history? That'll do it. Turns out through more tinkering that you can earn more credits for the main game. Just play well at Periscope and you earn more. Now beating the game isn't such a hard lot. The ending was satisfying enough. I just can't believe how much of this game I've played today, but that is just more evidence of just how much fun this game really is. Availability rating, high. The game is available on the PlayStation 3 via the Japanese PlayStation Network. This is where I obtained my version. It is also available on eBay. Make sure you get the Sega Ages version of the game. It is the same version, no differences, but you will need a method of playing import games. Language barrier, minimal. The only major issue here is the kanji that pops up on the QTEs and the hint screens. Everything else is plain sailing. The video sequences have English voice acting, so you can still follow the plot. Should you play it? Yes! Yes! Provided you can get a copy, it is worth a play or two, just to experience one of Sega's lesser known or appreciated beat-em-ups. It very much deserves its place alongside Altered Beast, Golden Axe and Alien Storm. Just don't expect it to be as forgiving as any of those. This has been SUSHIBITES. Thanks for watching. I actually have like 5 more episodes in the works already. I'm pretty serious about this year. So, things can only get better.